Hello everybody, we are back today and we're going to be talking about a young player for the Arizona Coyotes that I think deserves more recognition, that being Matias Maccelli, a guy that really I do think is starting to get that recognition, but I wanted to talk about why I think he deserves it. Now before we start, I wanted to say please make sure to subscribe to my channel if you're new to me, new to hockey, whatever the case may be. I'd love to have you here along the way as I try to do this as a career, and if you want to subscribe, make sure to do that. If not, no worries. So let's talk about Maccelli, who is a 22-year-old from Finland. He was drafted in the 4th round of the 2019 draft. Before getting his first taste of NHL action, he was actually in Finland and played in a professional league for them, of course, in Liga, and played for Ilves. No, I said that wrong. I definitely will acknowledge that, but that's okay. He ended up playing 94 games for them, putting up 28 goals and 41 assists in that time before going on to play 23 games with the Arizona Coyotes last season, registering a goal and 5 assists in a little over 14 minutes a night. So you're looking at this and you say, well, we've got this guy on our roster that is a middle-of-the-pack draft type guy that got a little bit of a taste of NHL action and didn't exactly light the world on fire. Nothing wrong with that, but you're probably looking outside of this as a non-Coyotes fan, and if you're not, too, into the Coyotes roster, I guess you should say, then you're probably thinking this is not somebody you're going to pay attention to, but that really hasn't been the case this year. As of April 3rd, Matias is second for the rookies in the NHL for points, with 45 points in 60 games played. That is very impressive. And I did want to say real quick, I didn't have the stats up to date. I am 1 game off, so if there's anything that's out to date, it's by 1 game, but it still holds true to what I'm talking about here today. So while he will probably get those Calder votes, as you see, Matty Beniers will probably get the Calder, this is a Yotes winger that will possibly be able to hit 50 plus points in a season while averaging just about 15.5 minutes a night, and while playing at most 65 games this season for Arizona. So if you were to say at the beginning of the year to a Arizona team or just any team in general, hey, you're going to have a 4th round draft pick that is young, that didn't light the world on fire the last year that he played for you in 20 games, he's going to be second in points for rookies the following year, and he's not going to, put up a lot of time out on the ice. He's going to do it in a limited, time and opportunity, but he's also going to have a 50 plus point season in under 70 games played. You would just be ecstatic, and I think for a lot of fans of the Yotes, they are. So that is worthy of talking about, and there may be room to grow. One of the easiest answers that I think why Matias may be able to, expand upon this and to become maybe a bigger name is if he decides to shoot more. So at the time, before he had played his 60th game, I had taken notes here, and so through 59 games played, Maccelli had only had 56 shots, so that's not even a shot per game. Notably, out of that, I looked at the other rookies that were playing, and out of all 13 rookies that had played 100 plus minutes on the power play this year, specifically on the power play, guess who's dead last for shots per 60? If you guessed the subject of today's video, then you'd be right. While it's clear early on Matias seems to be more of a setup man, of course, he has nearly 4 times the assists that he has in goals. I would like to see him take more shots, especially when you're on the man advantage. You got a little bit more room to work with theoretically, as you have a man advantage as well. And he just needs to take a little bit more of those opportunities. Nothing against what he's doing now. Of course, he's having a great rookie year. I know, of course, people talk on and on about the rookie case, but he's still an eligible rookie, and he may want to just work on it a little bit and focus on getting the shot off. And while he's young, he is already showing that he could be part of the club's future, and that is where I would like to see him just work on those fundamental aspects, because one thing that we also see as well is the fact that he is missing good offensive chances. He's got a lot of shots down low that he's missing the net, and he also has 42 shots that were blocked. If they're blocked, that's not the end of the world, but I think for those opportunities that are really down low, you have to be able to capitalize. For a guy that doesn't shoot the puck a lot, for him to miss the net on those opportunities when a lot of his other shots are getting blocked, you'd really like to see him take advantage of those and possibly become a better goal scorer for his team and to help his team out, because at the end of the day, if he is somebody that is going to continue to not shoot the puck a lot, maybe this team that is having growing pains may stay a little bit lower in the standings with someone like him that has the opportunity to continue to grow, not being able to do so. But he's not the guy that I think is going to make or break this team at the moment. Still a very good player, and that's okay. this club is not ready to be a consistent playoff team right now, and they are not looking to win a Stanley Cup next year. So it's totally okay while he develops, and from what we've been able to see, he's helping his team with his vision, generating offense off the cycle, and has been learning in a pressure-free environment, which is so critical. You see a lot of these rookies or these guys that get their first taste of action, they're in a really tough environment. And while Arizona, of course, has some weird things about the city itself, not even the city, but just the market in Arizona viable, I think for the team itself, it is a pretty pressure-free environment. Is he going to be a middle six forward going forward for his team? Quite possibly, as he sits fourth among all rookies for 5-on-5 points, and that is just something that is a simple stat to look at. And if you're able to generate points and just chances at 5-on-5, that tends to be a good indicator that you'll be able to stick around going forward. So there he is with the likes of guys like Beniers for 5-on-5 stats, and that is great. Is he going to win the Calder this year? I don't think so. I don't want to be the guy that is mean or rude. I really would love to jump on the hype train here, as he's actually having a higher average of points per game than Beniers. But Beniers in Seattle, they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to, possibly go on a run. And I know people are going to say, we try to focus on the player themselves. I just think, unfortunately, for Maccelli, that they're probably going to look at a guy like Beniers that is that top pick, that is a guy that's able to have a really good year after having an impressive debut last season and his team going to the playoffs. So I'm going to say no, and that's okay, because at the end of the day, we're talking about the Coyotes' future, which looks more and more bright every day. So for Matias and his team, I am so excited for them. But anyway, do you think that the young Finn will end up having a slump next season, or do you very well think he'll continue to grow and be a bigger and bigger part for his team going forward? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. Also, please make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Everybody stay safe, have a great night, and you will all kill right. Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.